I cleaned up all the internal fats. Okay, I've got, nope, it's already cleaned up. The one thing about a cross rib that you have to remember, and this is the one piece here, see this sinew?
Yeah. Yeah.
It runs right through.
Oh,
And that's a tough piece. That's a tough piece. It's the one problem with the shoulder clod. This is called a shoulder clod. This is a cross rib clod. It makes a great roast beef. It makes a nice little steak too. But you have to seam out this piece right here. And we call this, we call this a marinated shoulder steak now. We have them, they're marinated. But great little piece of meat, this piece right here. Now, should I just put, I took the bones off for easier from tying back on. Do you want that tied back on, or do you want to use this for a short rib?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that separate.
Okay.
Right? That's the fire.
Yeah, that's the bones off the top.
Yeah.
Well, this is the bones off because I thought they'd be tied back on. The reason why I sometimes take the bones off, the first part of the animal to start to really stink is the bones.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's up against all the innards, and this part. There's this thin skin on the bone.
Yeah.
It's called the pleural skin,
Oh, yeah.
and that skin will get stinky first because it's just the bone that traps it.
What we're going to do with this is we're probably going to make
Okay.
on that one there.
You want me to?
Yeah, just split it in the middle.
Okay. Tie it up.
Maybe cut it into
You want to go this way?
Yeah.
2, 4.
4 or 3. Whatever's going to work. Tie it to my shoulder.
And you got
And then-
some string for me?
No, what I'll do is I'll show them tying tomorrow.
Ah, perfect.
And then I'm going to just wrap them. I've got some mock paper. I'm going to wrap it, mark it, put it on this wrapping roll, so tomorrow when we pull it off,
You're good to
I'm
go.
going to hand it out, and then they'll know what cut it is, because what happens is everyone scraps a piece of meat, and then like, they bring it to you,
So
you're like,
that's what you're like that?
perfect.
Okay.
And they'll be
That's
like,
nice.
what is that?
Ah,
And
yes.
then even marking it, I've seen it. You're trying to identify muscles that are kind of hard and stuff.
So I made a mistake.
What?
Well, what I did here is I cut it the wrong way. See, what I did is I should have gone this way. Because when I cut this now, I looked at it and I went, I just cut it across the grain.
Oh.
So if I tie this now this way and you guys cut it this way, it's going to be tough. So I'm going to have to cut this one in half this way. You're going to have to make this into another small little roast. Okay, so I'm going to take that this way, and then you're going to tie it this way, and then we're going to cut across the grain, right?
Because we talk too much here.
No, it was me just, I looked at it, and as soon as I cut it, I went, I always admit, so I'm going to cut that there, and we're going to get a nicer looking look. Yeah, I did.
Because I was looking and I'm like,
Yeah, so, boom. So we're going to cut this way, because we're going to go across that grain.
Okay. So you cut against the grain?
Cut with it.
Oh, with it?
With it when I'm doing a larger piece, right?
Yeah.
And now when we're going to carve this, we're going to carve it across the grain. But see how that grain runs a bit that
So
way?
when you
Yeah.
carve it, you do carve against the grain, not with the grain.
Yeah, never with the grain. That's how you get beef jerky. So you always want to cut across. So I cut across. So Chef, I'm going to
yeah, like this.
those guys. Just two little mistakes here.
Problem.
I'll be the first one to admit my mistakes.
And then I'll take that.
There you go. Perfect. So now we move through the cross rib. Now we'll go on to the chop.
You did this
Oh,
also
really?
boning knife.
This is my boning knife.
Yeah.
This is my steak knife. Good knives. I've had this knife. I bought this in 1987.
Wow.
I put it. I have a stone at home, and I just put it on a stone. I never put it on a grinder.
Yeah.
Never grind your knives. First, when you grind a knife, it heats it up, and it takes the edge off, and you can't get the edge back.
That's just old-fashioned stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
okay,
I have a
that's at
stone
home.
at home that
Yeah.
it's a three-sided.
Oh,
It's got
three-sided.
hard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
lighter, and I do it maybe 10 minutes. And this one I got this one from Cisco when I started, and it's kept its edge. And I use a diamond steel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's
You've got the
because
round ones.
it's got the edge, and then I got smooth.
Yeah.
So I got it, and then it's smoother. So I keep my edge.
Oh, yeah.
This is my knife. But this is a good knife. Good knife, actually. I really
How
like
much
it.
did
I
this
have
go
one
for?
more.
This was about $60 in '87.
So it's $300 now.
It'll probably be about $90.
90.
But they don't change very much. The Victorinox is a good steel. I like German steel when I buy my knives.
That's what we got is German.
French German.
And a good knife that has the blade goes into the hilt.
Oh, yeah.
So this piece of metal comes all the way back
Yeah.
to here.
Yeah.
And then it's weighted. Like they're weighted knives too, so
Yeah.
they're easy to hold. The bigger knife works better for you.
You would have to cut a whole hell of a lot of cows to really be able to do this with these. This is tough. Even if I understand everything, just doing the manhandle the cow?
Oh, yeah.
It'll take a while, right?
We finished.
It does, and it's one of those things that you sort of
Yeah.
haven't done it for like 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden you come back into it, and you just fall right back into it. It's like
Why
right
did you
outside.
come back?
Let's ask him.
Passion for the business. I love restaurant business. I really liked it. I just needed a change for a few years, and do something a little different. But
Yeah.
as I was doing my last thing, it was a good gig. I liked working with hot rods, Canada, and that.
Question?
Yes.
What is this one?
This
on,
one
on
now.
the
Here we
picture?
are.
This one?
Yeah, we're in this piece. Actually, when we come into here, we've already taken those 5 bones off that cross rib.
Oh no,
So-
you told us this part.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Here, so we're right here.
Oh, right here.
So we're right in this area here, because this bone I'm going to take off the top here, this big blade bone now,
Yeah.
is right in here.
Oh.
So we're right on 18 and 19 right
So
now.
we finished the close to the neck.
Yes, yeah, we haven't done the neck yet though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we're going to do these rows first. So the first thing,
Confusing.
it's hard looking at it that way because you look at it sort of upside down too.
So what he's cutting out is that, right?
Yeah, I think
So I'm going to take
somewhere
off
here.
this big blade bone here.
Blade bone.
This is your scapula bone.
So when you're pulling it away, just like with the chicken yesterday,
Yeah.
it just helps you and
Yeah, it does.
just
I'm just letting the knife do the work,
Yeah.
and I just pull down.
pull that.
17. Blade bone. 18, 19. Not this one?
So
It's everything.
working class
17,
cut.
89 here. Blade bone, cartilage, reach of blade bone, blade bone. 19 is the blade bone.
And how fast do they work? How long
Really
would it
fast.
take somebody to take a cow apart, or do they just do sections?
There's
And they're
about 5,000 people who work in these places.
He's
Sometimes
working
they have
on
24-hour
half the
shifts. They kill 6,500 cattle a day.
24 hours.
Sometimes they do when they have to put more beef in. They'll run 24-hour shifts.
Like the same guys working?
No.
He took, he cut out
You
the
get an
ribs.
8-hour shift, but they'll be standing like you guys.
Yeah, it's
One
24
guy,
hours.
two
at
guys,
this
3 guys,
time,
4 guys, and one guy does one
got the
thing.
half of it.
Next guy
Yeah.
does something
Remember
else,
he
next guy does something, so it's
stood
just, and
up
it keeps moving.
Yeah.
They never stop.
Was it in your city that implemented the proper materials on the ground for standing and then rotating the cutters internally so that they weren't using the same I guess muscles like to avoid carpal tunnel syndrome and stuff?
You'll do, yeah, most plants do it. Trim Pack does it as well too.
They do
They
that.
try and find 2 or 3 or 4 different spots for
Yeah,
guys, so they
and
move
then,
them.
and then they just keep rotating so
Yeah.
they're not,
Because I was over there when I wasn't working. When I put Intercity Packers and before I went to work for Brickhill
Okay.
for a while because I needed a job. So I'm working on here I've been in sales for 20 years. And I'm back on a hill foreman. Very humbling. But we would bring pork loins. We did 2,700 a day, and I was the lead guy. So I'd get the loin and I'd have to take off the front end of it. But 2,700 of them in 8 hours. Nobody talks. Very humbling.
Working.
Yeah, everybody's working, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. So in a lot of places like Cargill and with XL last year, we had a big problem with we had the flood that caused a lot of issues last year with beef, and then XL, the plant in Alberta had the E. coli problem, where they had to throw away all this beef because the way somebody didn't clean filters in the plant.
Oh,
So what I've got here, these 2 pieces are actually called, these were the lobes of the chuck tender.
something tender.
Very little, beautiful little pieces of meat.
Inside part?
This is, sorry?
Inside.
This is your chuck tender.
Chuck tender, so
Now what we get out of the chuck tender is our flat iron steak.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where you get a flat iron steak from. This piece
How
right
is
here.
it cut, the
Uh,
steak?
I'll try and show you. Should I go into it, Chef?
Yeah, you can go into, this is the one, we're gonna, probably cook this for ourselves. Probably, I'm probably gonna do, sous vide this one.
Ooh,
And
sous
then,
vide.
go ahead and do sous vide on this one.
Nice.
So I mean, my parents used to leave a lot of the fat on the meat because they like it,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks to me like you're cutting off the max that you
Well,
can.
Well, what I have, that's more of a silver skin. See, that's a tissue.
Yeah.
So that's not fat. That
Yeah.
we're not eating
Yeah.
that. That's a rendered down piece. But we can get flavor out of these pieces. Like anything like this, I say that goes in the pot, and all the meat that comes off makes great soup. So we don't throw away anything when we do these things.
But it also